Everybody, and welcome to the February 19th, 2026 open meeting of the Guelph Police Service Board. I call our board meeting to order, and I start off by noting regrets have been received from Councillor Alt. And this is a reminder to all those watching pursuant to the requirements set out in the Community Safety and Policing Act, subsections 43 sub 3 and 44 sub 2 through 6, that the format of the meeting has been adjusted and there will be a resolution to move into closed session. The board will then reconvene an open session at 2:30 or as close thereafter as possible. And the members of the public who are viewing on YouTube stream are welcome to come back at 2:30 and access the YouTube link, which is found as the second link on the meeting agenda. So at this point, I need a mover and a seconder to move into, that the Guelph Police Service Board convene in closed session pursuant to section 44 sub 2 of the Community Safety and Policing Act 2019 for the purposes of considering the following matters: personal matters about an identifiable individual, labor relations or employee negotiations, litigation or potential litigation affecting the board, advice that would be inadmissible in court by reason of any privilege under the law of evidence, including communications necessary for that purpose, and information explicitly supplied in confidence to the board by Canada, a province of Ontario, or a Crown agency of any of them, or a municipality or First Nation. And information that Section 8 of the Municipal Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act would authorize refusal to disclose if it were contained on a record. Can I please have a motion for that? Moved by Mr. Plate, seconded by Mayor Guthrie. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Okay, at this point, I need a mover and a seconder for a motion to reconvene our open session. Can I please have a mover and a seconder? Moved by Mr. Sharma, seconded by Mr. Plate. All in favor? Opposed? Declare that item carried. As we gather, let us take time to reflect on our privilege to live and work in Guelph, a city built over rich Indigenous histories. We are guests here, and we should reflect upon the responsibility to care for this land, the people who live here today, and the generations to come. If our actions today can move us towards reconciliation, we should take pause and make those decisions with intention and gratitude. This place we call Guelph has served as the traditional lands and a place of refuge for many peoples over time, but more specifically the Attawandaronk and the Haudenosaunee. This land is held as the treaty land and territory with the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. Guelph lies directly adjacent to the Haldimand Tract and is part of a long-established traditional hunting ground for the Six Nations of the Grand River. Many First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples have come from across Turtle Island, call Guelph home today. Okay. Next item is declarations of pecuniary interest under the Municipal Conflicts of Interest Act. Does anybody have a declaration? Hearing none, I will declare that item closed. Next item is closed session recommendations. Mayor Guthrie, I believe you have some motions to propose.
Thank you, Chair, and through you, it's moved by myself, seconded by Ajay, that for two organizations, the first being the Guelph Symphony Orchestra in the amount of $1,000, and the second is the Guelph Make-A-Wish Foundation in the amount of $2,500 be approved out of the community account.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? Opposed? Declare that item carried. Okay, Next item is the consent agenda. Consent item. Items on the consent agenda can be approved in one motion. Prior to the motion being voted on, though, any member of the board may request that one or more items be removed from the consent agenda and moved towards the discussion agenda. At this point, I would like to seek a mover and a seconder and seek approval of the consent agenda. Okay, can I get a
Mr.
mover?
Chair,
yes.
Mr. Chair, I just wanted to ask one question on one of the consent items. I'm happy just to ask the question, get the answer, then move everything as one consent afterwards, if that's okay with you.
Okay, yes, by all means.
Okay, yeah, I just wondered through you to the chief if there was any commentary, chief, you wanted to give in regards to the letter that was attached for correspondence in regards to the 5 key areas that the inspector is going to be looking at from an Ontario-based perspective, any of the policies that you're looking at in regards to that issue. And yeah, I'll leave it up to you there on that one.
Okay.
Sure, I'm happy to respond to that. Mr. Chair, did you want to respond first or do you want me to?
No, by all means, you can respond, Chief Kobe.
Sure, yes. So I would say, obviously, we look forward to any learnings that come from that we can improve as a service or as a profession. It's difficult to speak specifically with respect to how the review in question will operationalize because we don't have those details. And but anything we do, anything we can learn from that helps us as an organization or a profession. I think it's really important never to lose sight of the work that thousands and thousands of police officers do across the province. But having said that, we look forward to learning how we can complement the many internal policies, procedures, and quality assurance mechanisms that we have in place right now. Barring that, I could go more into detail with that, but I think anything that we do that supports our communities and our members, we look forward to that.
No, that's satisfactory. Just to knowing that it could take a while for the provincial route to go and process to go, that we have the robust type of policies that we have in place, and you're always reviewing those is satisfactory to me and I'm sure to the board. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Then can I get a mover and a seconder for the consent agenda? Mr. Plate, seconded by Mr. Sharma. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Next item is the Chief's monthly report. Chief Kobe, if I can turn that over to you.
Sure, thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm just lining up a screen here. So I wanted to start, and I have a couple updates to be provided both by Inspector Davis and Staff Sergeant Clark, but I wanted to start by something in the agenda package this week was a letter from Director Glazier of the Wellington Catholic School Board in relation to the presentations that our members provided to teachers and staff in the fall. And I think it's important that we note February 22nd is Human Trafficking Awareness Day. And I really wanted to thank Director Glazier for the letter he shared with the board. The terrible crimes of human trafficking and internet child exploitation continue to increase at an alarming rate. And tragically, youth in our community are targets of these crimes. I think it's important that we thank Director Glazier and all of our Wellington Catholic District School Board for their leadership and the incredible partnership we have with them. Our school safety program and our high school resource officer program has been supporting that board for many years. And we look forward to expanding that and increasing the collaboration with both the Upper Grand and Wellington Catholic. And when I saw that letter, I really wanted to thank the director again for taking the time to share that. It really is an example of what we can do when our members work with our school community to support, educate, and prevent things like this from happening. So, and barring any questions, I'll stop there.
Any questions or comments?
And so I wanted to give Inspector Mike Davis, I'll give Mike a second to turn on his camera. As the community saw last week, there's the tragedy that happened in British Columbia, as well as we had a very, very busy operational week last week, including support that we provided to one of our high schools. I wanted to give Mike a chance to give the board and the community some insight into what some of those operations look like, and then also just overall the kind of work that our members are doing. It's important we recognize the important and difficult work that they do. So Mike, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you, Chair, for giving me a few minutes to speak today. Even with the introduction, for those who don't know me yet, I am Inspector Mike Davis. I currently supervise the Uniform Patrol Division of the Police Service. And as the Chief indicated today, I'm just going to give a few words, an update on those recent incidents that the Chief alluded to, serious incidents in our community. And I will talk about how they were handled by Guelph Police Patrol officers. And I'll give some updates on how patrol members are working to support some of our current strategic priorities. So last week, yes, it was a difficult week in Guelph over a very short period of time. In fact, just over one day. Our patrol officers responded to a number of serious and very public incidents. And the incidents, understandably, within the community caused concern and fear and uncertainty for many residents. So in short, the incidents on February the 12th, during the early afternoon, members of patrol responded to reports of a male on a North End street out in public, approaching cars with a firearm. And the same male shortly thereafter was seen inside a nearby fast food restaurant, and he then left the area. And then later on the same day, police were called regarding a male on a city bus with other bus patrons who was again reported to have a firearm. And the day prior to that, on February the 11th, patrol officers began an investigation into threats that were made toward John F. Ross High School. So the largest secondary school in Guelph and really one of the largest in the province. In situations involving the schools, they're especially concerning. And we understand that those kind of incidents can have lasting emotional impacts on students and on families and on staff and on the broader community. And unfortunately, our incident happened very shortly after a very tragic incident across the country in British Columbia at a school there. Now, where these all happened, they were all in public spaces, and many people witnessed the incidents directly, or they learned about them very quickly through social media. In fact, some of these were already on social media while we were still engaged, really in the initial stages of the investigations. Reactions on social media, obviously very public. Many people were expressing fear and anxiety. They were expressing sadness, concern about community safety. And again, we understand these. So to the board and really to the greater community, I wanted to take this opportunity really to reassure the public that the Guelph Police Service is prepared to respond to incidents like these. And in each of these cases, and I've reviewed them with officers, in fact, I was involved in one of them, officers responded very quickly and very professionally. Individuals involved in these incidents were safely located and apprehended in quite short order, and investigations were immediately started. Investigators assigned to each platoon, which is a new program that we have. We actually have criminal investigators embedded with the platoons. They were able to follow up very quickly with interviews, and they were able to very quickly obtain judicial authorizations to support the investigations. In the John F. Ross incident specifically, we had officers who are trained in incident command. They worked closely with partner agencies, including, in this case, the Upper Grand District School Board and the Ontario Provincial Police, to ensure there was good information sharing and that our responses were coordinated appropriately. We maintain a lot of partnerships here at the Guelph Police Service, and they enable us to access sometimes support and resources that sometimes we don't have internally. And in the incident at John F. Ross, certainly we had to leverage some partner resources. The OPP assisted with executing search warrants, and a firearm was recovered in that incident. As the supervisor of patrol then, I think events like these, they do demonstrate the level of training, coordination, and professionalism that our officers are bringing to work every day. And I would say to the board as well, to the larger community, please have confidence that we're prepared to deal with these incidents. And our officers, when we learn of these types of calls, are prioritizing safety of the public, those involved in the incidents, even our members who are attending in every one of these situations. Okay, so that's in relation to those recent events. I also said I would speak just for a moment about some current initiatives to support our policing priorities. And over the past several years, I know the board will be well aware of this, uniformed officers have devoted considerable attention to the downtown core. I think we can acknowledge that the proactive measures that we've put in place there, which have included high visibility and focused enforcement while still maintaining a health-centered approach, it's been quite effective. And since I came into this role in 2025, acknowledging those crime is not geographically located or bounded by the downtown, we have now started to try to bring the positive results that we've had downtown to other areas of the city. Targeted and directed patrol and enforcement strategies have increased dramatically at other locations in the city that had been experiencing, let's say, higher levels of police activity. And specifically, I see Mel on the call here, and to address the current priority of human trafficking, for instance, specific attention is now really being given to addresses where activities like that occur. And I'll give an example. So fall of 2025, an officer on proactive and targeted patrol at a North End hotel identified a vehicle from another province. And upon their initial investigation, it was determined that that vehicle was associated to some individuals with criminal histories. The officer then engaged our human trafficking unit, and that resulted in a male being arrested for human trafficking offenses. And I'm aware that our HT unit and community partners continue to provide ongoing support for the victim. And the focus on hotels and similar establishments continues now. We realize that patrol can support Melanie's HT team in that way. Another example, just about the effectiveness of some of the proactive patrols. I indicated targeted patrols, so we do have some addresses, again, with that higher police activity. And again, toward the very end of 2025, one of our officers attended to one such address, and upon pulling in and starting a proactive walkthrough, a female ran, and the female was subsequently apprehended and found to be wanted on several warrants and was charged with some additional offenses. I could give many more examples like these to demonstrate the effectiveness of our new proactive patrol. I will say, and thank you to the board, members of our patrol division are really looking forward to working with the new crime analyst to develop more proactive and targeted crime prevention strategies. Patrol division, again, we also have road safety as a goal, so I can indicate that we've increased our proactive enforcement efforts related to road safety. And thanks in part, again, to the support of the board with, in our ability to get ALPRs into each of our marked patrol cruisers. That's really the update I wish to give. I would say, in conclusion, sometimes I have conversations, I'm sure others here do as well, perception and actual crime severity, it comes up. as the supervisor of the patrol division, I would really like to, to reiterate, Guelph is a safe community. We recognize that those types of calls that happened on February 11th and 12th, they're impactful. But I would say we're committed. We're committed to transparency, to being prepared, and to really maintaining our continued partnerships so that Guelph stays a safe community and, that we can even improve on that. That's what I would conclude with. Thank you for the time.
Are there any questions or comments for Inspector Davis?
I just want to thank. Oh, go. Sorry, Peter. Sorry, Chair, Mr. Chair.
Sorry, I was just going to thank Inspector Davis for the for his update for the board and keeping us apprised of all the good work that is going on by the Guelph Police Service, and it's great to hear how all the pieces are meshing together and the great work that's being done and how all it's being efficiently done and with very dedicated individuals. And we thank you to yourself and to your team for doing that. So thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And then I also have Staff Sergeant Clark, just to provide an update, including some community policing updates for the board as we're now into February. I want the board to get some insight into how we're doing in relation to some of those initiatives. Mel?
Thank you, Chief, and thank you, Board. Yeah, so just for some community policing updates, some opportunities that are approaching. First, we have our Citizen Spring Police Academy. We run this twice a year, so that is coming up. It's a 6-week program starting on March 12th and runs to April 16th. It's every Thursday night from 6 till 8 p.m. Here in our community room. So this is a program. We do 6 presentations. Some of these to include our neighborhood policing, so our front line. We have 2 officers that present on that. Our human trafficking, our tactical and rescue unit, internet child exploitation, traffic, forensics, and we mix it up every time we run this program. But our goal is not only to share with the community what different units of the GPS do, but also to really build the relationships with the partnerships. With the participants. And there are still about 6 seats left, so there's still some time to register for this academy, and you can do that via our website and the community policing portal. We have also had a really good response to our upcoming fraud presentation. That is on March 30th, again, here in our community room. We've had dozens of people already signed up. That really just shows how important this is to our community, and I think it's really needed. But there are also still some seats left. So again, we encourage anyone to register. And again, you could do that via our homepage of our website. It's a little far out still, but May will bring our Family Fun Day. We host that every year. That brings in 400 to 500 members of our community of all ages. And we have displays, different units within the service. And that's held in our gym here. It's always a great activity, and that date will come. It just hasn't been set yet. We work around Police Week for that, so that's coming. And just a couple of things that we do offer through our website, just reminders more than anything. So we have what we call CPTED. So it's crime prevention through environmental design. And what that does is if you make a request, an officer will attend the residence or business that request is made from and provide advice on how to increase the safety and security of that location. We work with every break and enter, and we do offer that service, but that is something that anybody can call or visit our website, and we can have an officer attend and help you out with that. And also through our website, we also have, you can request an officer to attend any special event that does not entail security. So anything like a school family fun day, any presentations, school community presentations, you can go to our website. There's a community policing portal, and you can make any kind of request for that. And then on March 25th, and as you all know, this is a little dear to my heart, but we're hosting and organizing a human trafficking conference. So in partnership with Women in Crisis and Victim Services, we're hosting this conference with them. And it's made possible by the Solicitor General of Ontario, The theme being From Silos to Solutions, a collective response to human trafficking. And we're inviting over 30 community partner organizations to discuss how we as a community can continue to grow our partnerships, enhance the holistic approach to supporting our survivors of human trafficking, and obviously making the offenders accountable. And as the chief has already mentioned, he mentioned at the beginning of the meeting, February 22nd, this Sunday, is National Human Trafficking Day in Canada. And that is to raise awareness of human trafficking, support survivors, and encourage the action against trafficking. And that is obviously something that we will always continue to be aware of and promote. And so that's all I have for the update there. But if anyone has any questions, ideas, or would like more information about our community programs or initiatives, we're always happy to connect.
Thanks, Mel. And I just want to thank both Mel and Mike for their updates. You've had about 7 years listening to my updates, and I think that I think you'd probably rather hear them from Mel and Mike. They both demonstrate the work that our members are doing and the confidence our community can have in that. And so with that, Mr. Chair, barring any questions, I don't have any more updates this month.
Okay. Any questions or comments from the board? Nope. Hearing none. I will also thank Inspector Clark for her update to the board. Thank you for all that valuable information and update on what you're up to. Okay, next item for the board is new business. Is there any new business? Hearing none, I'll declare that item closed. Our next open meeting will be Thursday, March 26th at 1 p.m. via Teams meeting, and it will also be live streamed on YouTube. At this point, I would request a motion for adjournment. Can I get a mover and a seconder? Moved by Mr. Sharma, seconded by Mayor Guthrie. All in favor? Opposed?